She made me cry on my wedding night, but my husband made her regret it. My name is Lily Carter. I was 23 when I married Daniel, a man I loved deeply. He was kind, strong, and always smiling. But on our wedding night, my happiness turned into tears. My new mother-in-law, Mrs. Evelyn, entered my room with cold eyes. She looked at me like I was not welcome. "You are not good enough for my son," she whispered. She pointed at my dress and mocked me. "Cheap girl in a white gown." Daniel was outside with guests, so I sat alone, holding back my tears. That night I tried to hide my pain. Daniel returned to the room and saw my red eyes. "Lily, why are you crying?" he asked. I shook my head, saying, "It's nothing." But he pressed gently until I told him the truth. His face changed. His smile faded, replaced with anger. He held my hand and said, "She cannot break you. You are my wife, and from today you are my world." Still, I was scared. I felt like I had entered a battle instead of a family. The next morning, Evelyn served breakfast but ignored me completely. When I asked for tea, she turned away. Daniel noticed. He poured a cup himself and handed it to me. That small event burned her pride. "You even serve her like a maid," she shouted. Guests in the house looked shocked. I lowered my eyes, embarrassed. Daniel calmly replied, "If love means serving, then I will serve her forever." His words silenced the room, but I saw her fist tighten. A week later, Evelyn invited her rich friends for dinner. She dressed in silk and jewels, making me look small in my simple gown. During the meal, she asked me cruel questions. "Do you even know how to cook? Can you manage a big house?" Her friends laughed. My hands trembled as I poured water, spilling some on the table. Laughter grew louder. Daniel stood up, took the jug, and said, "She doesn't need to serve you. She is my wife, not your servant." The room went silent. One rainy evening, she locked my wardrobe. I had no clothes to wear except an old dress. I cried in the room alone. Daniel came home early, saw me, and understood. He went out in the rain, returned with shopping bags full of beautiful dresses, and said, "No one will lock your happiness." His wet hair dripped on the floor, but his eyes burned with fire. Evelyn stood at the door watching. For the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. Days passed, but her cruelty grew. She whispered lies to neighbors, saying I trapped Daniel for money. At the market, women whispered behind my back. My heart broke. Daniel held my shoulders and said, "Don't cry, Lily. Truth always wins." That night, he gathered family members and exposed her lies. "She is my choice, my love, and my wife. If anyone cannot respect her, they cannot stay in this house." Everyone sat in silence. Evelyn's face turned red, but she had no reply. On our first wedding anniversary, Daniel planned a small party. I wore a blue gown he gifted me. Evelyn tried one last trick. She unplugged the lights, leaving the hall dark. People panicked, but Daniel lit candles quickly, making the room glow. He stood beside me and raised a toast. "1 year ago, I married the bravest woman I know. She faced pain but never broke, and I promise she will never cry again in my house." Guests clapped while Evelyn's plan failed again. Late that night, Evelyn entered my room once more. "You may have his heart," she whispered, "but you will never have his family." I shook, afraid of her sharp tone, but suddenly Daniel entered. "Mother, enough," he said firmly. His voice echoed in the room. "You made her cry on our wedding night, but tonight you will regret it." He pulled my hand gently and said, "Pack your things. We are leaving." My heart raced. Was he leaving his own mother for me? The next day, Daniel took me to a new house. It was small but filled with warmth. He painted the walls himself, bought new furniture, and even planted flowers outside. "This is our world, Lily," he said. "No one will hurt you here." My eyes filled with tears, but this time they were happy ones. Evelyn visited once, but Daniel stopped her at the door. "You cannot step inside until you respect her," he declared. For the first time, she left without saying a word. Months passed and my life bloomed. Daniel opened a new business and made me his partner. He encouraged me to design clothes. Soon, women in the town loved my dresses. People who once mocked me now praised me. At a fair, Evelyn saw me with customers around me. She looked shocked. Her friends who once laughed now admired my work. For the first time, she looked small in her own pride. She left quickly, unable to face the truth. One evening, Daniel received an urgent call. Evelyn's health was failing. Though my heart still carried scars, Daniel said softly, "She is my mother. We must go." At the hospital, she looked weak, her pride gone. She held my hand, eyes wet. "I burned you with my words. I burned your peace. But you never left my son's side. Forgive me." My eyes filled with tears. I had waited for these words, not for revenge, but for peace. She went home with us after recovery. This time she entered my kitchen not to insult me, but to help. Slowly she softened. She watched Daniel laugh with me and saw our love shine. One night she whispered, "I see now. You are not my enemy. You are my daughter." My heart softened too. Life had come full circle. She made me cry on my wedding night, but in the end she carried the weight of regret. And I stood tall, no longer broken.